Good evening, YouTubers. PTSD, that's what they call it these days. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, I remember talking. I was quite fortunate because I was born in '61. Okay, so that was like 16 years after the war ended. So everyone, all the adults, when I was a child, had all done something in the war. They were all asking each other what they did in the war, and they were all talking about the fucking war. All of them. Anyway, when I met my first wife, she's called Joan, okay, from Whitworth, and her father was a guy called William. Billy, we called him. Billy was always pissed. Pissed as a fart. He was always sort of staggering about. But Billy had been in the Lancashire Fusiliers in the Second World War. And because he was my father-in-law, I got the opportunity to talk to him. And he was always pissed when I talked to him. He was in the Whitworth Working Men's Club or places like that. And he was a very, very interesting guy. He's long dead now, of course. But not only was he in the Chindits in Burma fighting the Japanese during the Second World War, he was also in India. He did a spell in India. And he would talk to me about stuff that he'd been through, you know. And he was quite, because he was drunk, he didn't care. He just came out with it and told me how it was. And this and this and this, and his Lee Enfield rifle, because it was in the Lancashire Fusiliers in Bury, which was near Rochdale, because they were from Rochdale, Whitworth, in Lancashire in the United Kingdom. And when they were in Burma, he said, he discarded. He said, the rifle's no fucking good. In fucking jungle, he's taught like that. In fucking jungle, he can't see more than 100 fucking feet. The rifle's no fucking good. He said, discarded it. He said he had a Thompson, which is like the super duper submachine gun. He said, yeah. When you thought you saw a Japanese, he said, you just pointed your Thompson at where you thought they were and just fired it. Brrr! And he hoped one of the fucking shots got them. And he said when you advanced on the positions, there'd be dead Japanese lying about. He said, and you'd walk past them. He said, and one of them would jump up and scream and have a knife. And they'd stab one of your mates in the back, kill them, and you think, fuck, and you'd be there shooting him. He said, fuck me, they're pretending to be dead. Fucking Japanese pretending to be dead. And so after that, he said every single time, he would never ever pass a Japanese dead soldier without shooting him, putting a bullet in him, or stabbing him with a fucking bayonet or something. He said, and the number of them that screamed when you stuck the bayonet in, or you shot them, he said it was scary. He said there was so many of them playing dead. It was unbelievable. And occasionally they used to capture Japanese soldiers. He said they were fucking horrible yellow bastards, he called. This is his own words. I'm repeating his own words, because this guy was in Burma. He was in one of the Chindits in Burma. Look it up if you don't know what the Chindits were. They're British soldiers in Burma. He said, and they captured these Japanese soldiers and they had nowhere to put them. So they had loads of barbed wire, so they wrapped barbed wire around, I don't know, 3 or 4 trees, round and round and round and round, up and down. So they made like an enclosure for the prisoners of war, and they popped them in the barbed wire. And he said, and they were put on guard, so they had to stand there, fucking guarding these prisoners of war. And instead of just like sitting there and being good, you know, they were not good at all. He said they were just fucking up snarling against the wire, talking all Japanese, because your average British Tommy didn't understand a word of Japanese, of course, and they're all giving it loads in Japanese, and you can assume it's nothing complimentary. And he had to fucking walk around and round this barbed wire enclosure all night, and these fuckers were like leaping against the wire like some sort of animal. He said, and this fucker spat in his face like that. And he went, you cheeky yellow bastard, and he just pulled his fucking Thompson. He went, fucking shot him dead. He said, you cheeky fucking yellow bastard. And all his mates were like that. All the other Japanese prisoners in the... He's like, fuck off. And you can see why people have PSD, you know. And another time, he said they found some British soldiers that had been captured by the Japanese. He said they were hanging by the feet, stripped naked, and they'd been stabbed fucking loads of times. They were dead, hanging in the trees, all the British uniforms on the floor and shit and stuff. And he's like, fuck it. Are you serious? You've done what? And the next time they came across dead Japanese soldiers, he said he pulled their fucking trousers down and he cut their dicks off and stuck them in their mouths and left them there. And he said, well, hopefully the other Japanese will find the fuckers and see them like that, and they'll go to fucking Japanese fucking heaven with the dicks in their mouths. You know, this is fucking serious PTSD going down here. And I'm thinking, fuck, you know, I was talking to him. And it was no wonder the guy crawled inside a bottle and stayed there till the day he died. He was a proper pisser. He was a really nice guy, Billy Wormold. Billy Wormold, that was his name. Yeah. Remember Billy well. He told me many stories, but I mean, I think they were the ones that stood out. There's no such thing as PTSD in those days. It was all sort of, we'll just get on with it. Tommy! Okay, well, my late as a carry-on from what I've just previously uploaded, as a carry-on from that, Billy Wormold told me many stories about the British in Burma and in India. But there is one particular story that I want to mention before I finish the subject. Because my wife was talking tonight about Gandhi, and that's what brought the subject up. She talked about, I mean, there's a famous film about Gandhi. You can watch that, and it's very, it's disgraceful actually. It's very true. Anyway, this is told to me by someone who was there. Okay. Now, my grandfather was in India. After the First World War, he went to India in the Lancashire Fusiliers. He was in Lahore barracks, which I believe is now Pakistan. But in the day, it was India, and he never ever told me much about India. But Billy Wormold, my father-in-law, to my first wife, told me when he was in India, I don't know where he was in India, but he did tell me when he was in India, and he just arrived as a young lad, and he was with another guy, and they were there with their Tommy helmets on and British uniforms and Lee Enfield rifles and bayonets and things, And he was wandering along, and this guy was showing him the ropes. Oh yes, yes, and there's lots of Indian people looking round. Oh, British soldiers, British soldiers. And he didn't know any better. He just rocked up. He was sent there by the British government, and he was there. And this Indian guy came up to him, and he could speak a bit of English. He said, "Oh, Sab, hello, Sab. You want to buy banana? I have banana." He goes, "Oh, banana? Yeah, I'll have some bananas. Yeah." And he said, I give you half a dozen bananas. Now, half a dozen is 6, okay? For those of you who don't know, it's 6. 6 bananas. I'll give you 6 bananas for so much money. Oh, okay. So he goes in his pocket and he gets the money out. And he pays the guy. The guy gives him a bunch of bananas. And the moment he fucking give him the bananas, he turned around and he fucking legged it. He ran away. And Billy's there like that. And he's looking down at his bananas and he's looking up at the... Why is this guy running away? Proper on top. Running away. And his mate went, "What the fuck? Show me the bananas." And he showed him the bananas, and there was only 5, not 6. And his mate raised his Lee Enfield rifle, cocked it, pointed it, and went bang, and he shot this guy square in the back, dropped him to the fucking ground. He went, "The cheeky fucking bastard, he ripped you off for 1 banana." Billy's like that. And you just shot him for like 1 fucking banana. And all the Indians came out and they're all staring at them. I'm thinking, oh fucking hell, it's going to go down big time. And it didn't. They just dragged the body away and all went back to normal. And he thought, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck are we doing in India?